I was angry. I couldn't believe that after all of this ordeal, there was still such an unorganized mess.
Last month, we told you about accessibility advocate Mayan Ziv, whose wheelchair was damaged on an Air Canada flight to Tel Aviv, leaving it in need of extensive repairs. When she returned to Toronto last week, she received more distressing news from staff at baggage claim.
I arrived in Toronto to be told that my wheelchair was never loaded on the flight.
Ziv says while there was no public accountability after her wheelchair was damaged, Air Canada reached out privately to make her trip home more comfortable. Her ticket was upgraded and staff were appointed both in Tel Aviv and Toronto to ensure everything went smoothly. But it didn't.
I was also accompanied by an assistant from Air Canada, and I asked her, "Where is my wheelchair? What's going on?" She didn't know either.
Ziv says she filled out a lost baggage claim and was at the airport for 4 hours trying to find a solution.
We were able, after that process, to basically track down where my wheelchair was on my own iPhone using an AirTag, which I had remembered that I tagged my wheelchair with. And it was at that time that we could physically see that my wheelchair was on the tarmac at Pearson. It was my information, in my own phone, to help the airport staff track down where my wheelchair was.
In a statement, Air Canada tells CityNews that there was a temporary delay in retrieving Ziv's wheelchair, in part because these devices are quite heavy, in excess of 400 pounds, and can require extra time to unload and deliver to customers. But Ziv says that is not what she was told.
It was never loaded on the flight.
If it wasn't for that AirTag, I would have been told to go home, which was what I was told, and that I would wait a couple of days until they could track down my wheelchair.
Even though she was eventually able to locate her wheelchair, Ziv says the entire process was badly mishandled and caused unnecessary duress.
My wheelchair is my form of independence. It is my mobility. Without my wheelchair, my life stops. The carelessness that it takes to tell someone, "Sorry, we left your independence and mobility in another country," that in itself is an extremely traumatizing event to go through.
She is once again calling for systemic change in how people with disabilities are treated.
The way that people with disabilities and their mobility devices are handled is no different than a luggage. And that in itself is extremely problematic. My wheelchair is not a luggage. My wheelchair is what provides me health, mobility, and independence. And it is not the same thing as someone losing their suitcase.
Dilshad Burman, City News.